Today we're doing unlabeled bottles. So what are we going to do? We're going to have the following setup. We need a test tube rack. Please take this size. Why this size? Because the big ones, the test tubes will go through. We don't want to break test tubes today. We're going to set up the test tubes in this order. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Making it match with the tables that we have in our lab. All right? Each group is going to have a set of big bottles. In these bottles, we have the knowns. We know what these things are. Please notice that we have 2 labels for each bottle. One is here, one is here. Make sure that they match. All right? If they don't match, you'll have a problem. So this is sodium chloride here, sodium chloride here. Calcium chloride, calcium chloride. So what we're gonna do, we need to put our goggles on. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna perform this experiment today. So the first part, we take calcium chloride and sodium carbonate. So we take our first test tube and we're taking calcium chloride. I know that the manual says 1 milliliter, but it really doesn't matter how much you use, right? 1 pipette, enough. Make sure that you put the pipette back in here. Don't use any more than 1 pipette. Then you take the other one and you're gonna do the same thing. Put it here and get it done. What do we see? White. This white is a precipitate. So we're gonna see reactions that will occur the same like this. If it's a precipitate, we write PPT. What other things can we observe? The evolution of evolving of a gas, right? Something else that can happen, it can get hot. All right? So I'm telling you right away, we're gonna see 5 reactions, only 5. One of those, we're gonna see a gas forming, and in another one, you might see it, you might not. It's gonna get hot. If your hands are warm all the time, you might not feel the difference. If your hands are cold all the time, you might feel the difference, okay? If you mix, for example, calcium chloride with sodium chloride, nothing happens, you just write no reaction. If you observe gas, you write gas, right? If you observe a precipitate, you write PPT. If it gets hot and you feel it, you just write. That is for the non-solutions. Okay, we're gonna do that for this. Once that we're done with that, we take our test tubes. We can put these in the sink, and we're gonna rinse them with water, right? Wash them. Just water, no soap, just water. And we're gonna set the same thing. 1, 2, 3, and like that, okay? And we're gonna do it with now the unknowns. The unknowns are these little bottles over here. We don't know what this is. It's called B. We don't know what this is. It's called A. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna do exactly the same thing. We're gonna mix a little bit of A with a little bit of B. A little bit of A with a little bit of C, and we're gonna see what happens. If we observe a precipitate, we write PPT. If we say nothing, no reaction, right? And like that. Again, these, we will see 5 things happening. One of those is gonna be the gas, one of those is gonna be the heat, and 3 will be precipitates. Based on your results here, you're gonna compare these to what you observed here. So for example, if calcium chloride behaves like this, it gives you a precipitate and no reaction and whatever reaction here, you will look for something here that behaves the same way as calcium chloride. And then you will say, well, based on your conclusions, A will be calcium chloride, or A is gonna be sodium chloride, or whatever, all right? So your grade is gonna be based on how you got the unknowns, the identity of the unknowns. All right, so we just did one of the experiments. What did we get? We mixed calcium chloride with sodium carbonate. We mix these two things. So for each one of these reactions that happen that are going to be 5, like I say, you're going to do the following. We're going to write our molecular equation. What is going to be the molecular equation? Molecular equation is going to be calcium carbonate, yes? Plus what? Sodium chloride. We know that sodium chloride is soluble in water, so the precipitate most likely was this, yes? And we are going to write this equation. What do we do next? Balance it. Very good. Once that we have this balance, we're going to write our ionic equation, the complete ionic equation, where you will write the ions. Yes? You're going to write your ions. And you're going to keep going, right? Calcium carbonate is going to be like this and this. Don't forget that we are going to write the coefficients once that we balance our equation. That will be your complete ionic equation. And what do we do next? The net, right? Which is going to be calcium 2 plus to give you the carbonate, calcium carbonate. So you're going to do these 3 sets of equations for 5 of them. 5 equations. All right? Yes? Thank you, Father.